Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Boys. This is episode 223. I'm Mike,
I'm Colin.
and yeah, today we got a few things to talk about. We got a couple releases that have released, and concert experience of Colin and fan of the pod, Jon. John's not here, but Colin's gonna speak for him. Yeah. Before you get into that, I mean, I guess you'll kind of get into that during your week. But how was your week?
Week was all right. Didn't work a ton just because I was scheduled weird, and also somebody took my shift yesterday, so I could rest after the concert. But work was fine. I think we were kind of busy over the weekend, but it wasn't too bad. But I don't really think there was anything to note at work this week. Luckily, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
There was this old dude that but the person up front taking orders couldn't understand, so he came back. So he came to the back. I was like, "Hey man, there's somebody coming up." I didn't understand what they were saying. It's like okay, and so I he came out to the window, and I was like, he had to try to hand me his card, and I was like, "What did you want? Sorry." And he stares at me, and he goes, "I want a goddamn." I'm like, sorry, what? And he just kind of stares at me slack jaw, and I'm like, sorry, I did not hear you. And he puts his car into gear, and he grumbles, and he just drives off. And I'm like,
all right,
have a good one, asshole. And yeah, so just
it's like an NPC fucking interaction.
Yeah, honestly, it felt like it. Just fun stuff, really. But and then last Friday we hung out with our friends. Our friend Ashley gave me this microphone that she has not used in a long time.
Oh.
So that's what I'm using right now. I don't know if there's any difference in quality on your end.
I think it sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But like it has like a gain or whatever, so I can get really quiet and really loud. And so that's nice, and it's got a bunch of different settings on the back for like different types of recording styles, which is cool.
Nice. Is it a Blue Yeti?
No, it's a HyperX Quadcast.
Oh, shout out.
But, yeah, but it has a mute button on the top too. So
oh, now he's muted.
Whenever
I was not.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, right. Crazy technology in 2025. But that was pretty cool. She like hasn't used it in like 3 years. She was like, "You just have it." I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, we played some board games. Finished the night off with some Cards Against Humanity. Haven't played that in a long time.
Yeah.
But I think that helped because I didn't remember some of the cards. There were a good few expansion packs mixed in there, so I didn't recognize any of those either. So it was fun, some good time.
Yeah.
I rewatched a movie called The Mitchells versus the Machines, which is a Netflix movie that came out like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. But it's like, I don't know if it's the same people that animated Spider-Verse, but it was definitely inspired by Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And the animation's it's awesome. And it's like genuinely really funny. I hadn't watched it since it came out, but Max and I were looking for like a feel-good kind of animated funny movie, so threw that one on, and yeah, that one's really, really funny. Still, I would recommend watching that one. Real silly. That was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Went to the Kendrick and SZA concerts. and that was I was in St. Louis, and I never want to return to St. Louis ever again.
You
Uh,
said that in your instant post. I was like, oh boy, what the fuck happened in St. Louis?
yeah. So first off, it
Wait,
was raining all
wait.
day.
First question: was it St.
Yes,
Louis, Illinois side or Missouri side?
Missouri side.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Arch was right there. I've never been so close to the arch.
Wow. Arching.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just people were arching it that night. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what.
Oh.
SZA was going crazy. She said, "Put your hands on your knees and shake that ass for me."
Jada,
Um,
Jada, you got a good view of Jada a few rows in front of you.
yeah, yeah, he was going crazy down there. That shit was bouncing.
Yeah.
But, no, it was first off, it was raining
Mm.
that entire day.
Ooh.
So the whole ride down there, it was pouring, and then we get into the city. It's still raining, and uh, we're trying to get to the parking garage, and just the fucking traffic within St. Louis is worse than even Chicago,
Oh God.
which is hard to hard to beat. Um,
Especially
and
on a
maybe
Wednesday
it's
night. I mean, I guess it's
right.
work night, I guess, but
Yeah, like we got into the city at like 6, so it was like past normal rush hour.
yeah.
But I think most of the traffic was due to the concert.
Oh,
Um,
that makes sense too.
yeah, but just like it was, we got on a street. We had to turn right to turn left pretty instantaneously. But the way the intersection went is that there was a light in front of us and a light, like a normal intersection. And so the people going onto the street we were going from the left were the light would turn red for them, but they would still all be in the middle of the intersection because the light
Mm.
after that was not turning at the same time. The timers for the lights were all fucked up and not working in a way that made it any sort of functional.
Awesome.
Um, which is awesome. And so we were stuck on that road for a while, and then we turned right on the street we had to, but there was no way to get into the left turning lane. So we were like, okay, we'll go straight and it'll reroute us. But it wanted us to make a loop around where we did,
Mm.
and bring us back to basically where we were, but on the other side of the intersection, just
Yeah.
going straight. But the problem with that is like we went down that street and there was no real like we got around but couldn't get to that street, so we were just like okay. And then the GPS brought us to the exit of the parking garage instead of the entrance.
Oh.
So we had to find the entrance, which
Yeah.
means we had to go a different way. And then there was another street where that same thing was happening, where people going onto the street on the other side of the intersection were taking up the entire fucking intersection, so we couldn't go forward when we needed to.
Awesome.
And that lasted for like 15-20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, from getting into the city to getting the parking garage took probably half an hour, 45 minutes.
Damn.
So I don't know if it was as bad as it was for Black Country New Road,
Yeah.
but it was still like insane. And there was also these golf carts that people were like for like chauffeur people or driving people out to the venue on golf carts.
In the
They were just kind
street?
of like, yeah.
Oh.
And so they were just kind of like weaving in and out of traffic. And so like they got in front of us to go through that intersection that we couldn't get through
Yeah.
because people were blocking the entire thing. And so that created kind of a gap where like I was like, John, you just gotta kind of you gotta just get through that when you have the chance. And this asshole that was like trying to come in from the light forward started to kind of inch into that gap, and I rolled down the window and was like, go back.
Damn. Colin
And
road
they were
rage.
yeah, and they're like okay. So they backed up enough for us to go forward, and that luckily that made it so we could get onto the street we needed to be. But we got into the parking garage. we both had to piss like insanely bad.
Uh-huh.
And like John was like, I'm not gonna make it to the venue, and so he had like a McDonald's cup, and he just
Yep.
relieved himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I
He
was like,
jacked off.
I'm not confident enough to do that. Yeah, he jacked off into the cup.
I'm not gonna make it to the concert.
um, but and so it also we had to go up 6 floors into the parking garage because it was already pretty much full.
Yeah.
But like we got out, we started walking, and we're just getting fucking poured on because the rain started coming down harder just as we were going to the venue, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a 10-minute walk or something. So just getting poured on. I was wearing one of my 21 Pilots shirts, like it's the oversized one, so it was getting real heavy, real drenched. And we get to the venue and we had to line up to get into the venue, and everyone's just getting fucking poured on, and people are cutting in line, and it's just fucking it. I'm wetter than I've ever been, I feel. And not just because John jacked off into a cup in a
Right. And that you were seeing John wet too.
Exactly. But yeah, my shirt was extremely heavy. I I had put my hair up in the car, luckily, so it wasn't just like wet and down in my face the entire time.
Yeah.
But it took us like, I don't know, maybe another 15-20 minutes to get into the venue. And then when we did, it was just like, the venue was fine. I didn't mind the venue. It was a big arena. But and then it's just getting to the seat was fine. Nothing wrong with that. We glanced at the merch. I was like, nah, I'm good. And water was way cheaper than the United Center. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I got a bottle of water for $6, and
wow, what a steal.
Yeah, whereas the United Center, I paid like $25 for 2 cups of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicago,
I don't even know how that's
crazy.
legal.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But went. It got there, waited for the concert. DJ Mustard was when we were outside in the rain. We started hearing some like crazy bass from inside the arena. I was like, "Oh, did he start already?" It was like 7:45 or something, and we're like, "Nah, no way he started that early." But we got in the arena, we got upstairs, and we just looked through a window. It was just Mustard out there doing a little set. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." We got to our area, and he was playing like "Tonight" by Fun, and the last song he's like, "That's it, that's my set." And then he came back out for a sec. He's like, "One more song," and he played "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
Interesting.
He was getting the white,
yeah,
he was getting the white people crunk. Which I will say most of the arena was white people.
Yeah, I've heard that about Kendrick shows and also like Tyler shows.
Yeah.
Which is why it's always a little concerning when you never hear a gap in the audience when when the N-word.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, they came on the stage at like, I think it was like, we were like, oh, it's probably gonna be at 8:30, but it was like 8:24 and they got on.
Nice.
And I was a couple rows behind John, like you were saying. And so John had like, for a bit of the concert, he had like 2 seats next to him that were empty, and I was like, if nobody comes down there, I'll go down there.
Yeah.
But I was between. I'm a bigger person. I was between 2 other bigger people. So it was kind of like uncomfortable in the stands a little bit, and I was like, it was 2 women, so I was like, my hands were either crossed in front of me or crossed behind me because I didn't want to like accidentally touch somebody,
right,
and make anybody uncomfortable on accident. And so I was just like, I was enjoying it. He came out, whacked out murals. There was some like cool stuff on the screens. But the way that the screens are, it's like one huge screen that like opens in the middle, and they're like curved inward in the middle of the stage. So like whenever the cameras were on him and he was on the big screen, the corners of the screen would kind of distort his face a little bit, and it was kind of fun. But you know, it was good. He played a really good set. It was different from any concert I've been to because instead of there being an opener and the main event, it was they alternated on stage.
Yeah.
So like Kendrick played like 5 songs, and then SZA came out, and she played like 5 or 6, and then Kendrick came back out and back and forth. Um, and you know, I like SZA. I have not listened to enough of her music. I'm not a big enough fan to really know any of it,
Mm-hmm.
other than like bits and pieces, the hits, and also like Kill Bill. Um, so like, you know, it gave me a good opportunity to like sit down for those moments. I
Mm-hmm.
still enjoyed it and I had a good time. There were 2 people in front of me that were like huge SZA fans, so when she came out, they were like going insane.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, good for you guys.
Yeah.
Happy for you. And the 2 people to my right were also, I think, more SZA fans than Kendrick, and then the girl on my left was more Kendrick than SZA.
Mm.
Um, it's like during SZA, we were just kind of sitting down and just kind of enjoying the concert from
Yeah.
when it was. Um, but you know, SZA had an interesting set. I don't like I said, I'm not a big enough fan of SZA to know anything really about her, but she had a lot of bug imagery
Mm.
within her
I know that
sets.
was something she was doing with like her deluxe album or whatever
Yeah.
that she released.
Like
Yeah.
I knew she was a bug on the SOS Deluxe
Yeah.
cover, but I was like, you know, that's interesting. But like, there were people in giant praying mantis outfits on stage. There was
Oh.
a giant ant she rode on.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna
Um,
say in the crowd there were people in praying mantis
that would have been
costumes.
funny.
Yeah.
No, but she like, yeah, there was like giant praying mantises walking around the
Uh-huh.
stage, and there was a giant ant that came up from underneath, and she rode on that for a while.
Mm.
And it was like, what is going on, dude? I didn't understand any of it. But you know, she sounded great. She did a good job, and you know, obviously the songs where she's on Kendrick tracks, I was like, oh, I know those
Mm.
ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Kendrick, Kendrick, Kendrick.
but yeah, but you know, Kendrick did a bunch of stuff from GNX. He did N95 for Mr. Morale. He did Count
Mm.
Me Out. And during the concert, he was like, "Mr. Morale is one of my favorites, so I hope y'all know this one."
Mm.
Um, I was like, I'm glad to know that that's one of his favorites because that's
Yeah.
I feel like underrated.
One of my
Um,
favorites too.
mhm. uh, but you know, he did like a slowed down version of Mad City, which was interesting. Um, and then you know, a lot of cool stuff on the screens. The GNX came up from underneath the stage a good few times, and he kind of just stood on it.
Mm.
Um, but like it was funny because there would be stuff behind him on the screen, but only behind him in the GNX. So it was like a very small portion of the giant fucking screen. It'd be like flashing lights or behind him and only behind him, and the entire rest of the screen was black.
Mm.
Um, which is kind of silly, but it still looked cool. There was a lot more. There was a lot more fire in the set than I was expecting there to be.
Yeah.
Just like you know, just fire coming up from the stage, fireworks. There was like one when SZA was out. There was one like singular little flume of sparks coming out behind her,
Mm-hmm.
which you know I was like, there has to have been more that were supposed to come out because that just looked a little, um, just looked a little sad with just
Yeah.
one little strand. Um, but like you know, the set design was cool. He had the shapes on the ground that he did at the halftime show, like the
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation shapes, minus the X.
Mm.
But you know, it was good. I had a good time. First rap show. I think I would rather be either in the pit or facing forward towards the stage because we were on the right side of the stage.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff in the middle when the doors opened up that like it was on the screens, but you couldn't see from where we were. Um, like there was a set of stairs that the dancers were on, and he was coming down during I think Euphoria at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then there's like a giant set of dice that like were hanging up there, and then like a giant GNX inflatable was in there too. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like you could see some of it, and like the screen showed a good bit of it, but it was like you know I feel like also like with those shows, if you're on the right side or the left side, your one ear is gonna get blasted with the sound
Right.
compared to the other one. And I'd only experienced that one other time Last time I saw Shinedown with my dad, we went to Peoria, and we were on the right side as well. So like one side of my head was getting blasted with sound while the other one wasn't, which just made one of my ears completely numb. Uh, so when it comes to like concerts, I'd much rather be facing towards the stage, I think.
Right.
But for the amount of money that it was, it's I can't really complain all that much. But it was good. I had a good time.
Did
It was
those?
like a
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, did those seats by John end up getting filled at some point?
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like a little while after Kendrick came out, they got filled, and I was like, all right, well, that's okay.
Rip.
But the two seats in front of me never filled up, so like we probably could have. But lots of people. The crowd was very loud, especially for A Minor and Mustard
Oh yeah.
and Pedophile.
Yeah. The hits.
Yes,
Those are my favorite Kendrick songs.
yes. But this show lasted till 11 or so it was pretty long.
Yeah.
And then we get out, we walk, we get out of the, and we're going down like the they have escalators, so we were going down the escalators, and the second escalator we went down, like we were at the top of it, and all of a sudden it just fucking like jolts to a stop.
Oh.
And like people are just like, ah!
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, turn back around. And we thought it was stairs, but it was just like giant ramps for people to go down. I was like, okay. So if we knew that was the case, we probably would have done that from the start, but whatever. And then it took us a while to get down those ramps. It was probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so. And then we spent probably 45 minutes in a parking garage trying to get out.
God.
Yeah.
About as much time as it took to get in.
Yeah. And like it's kind of like Chicago, where like getting in the cities can be difficult, but like getting out's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So after the parking garage, we got out pretty fast, but like it took a long time to get out of that fucking parking garage, and people were not being aggressive enough. And it's just it might have just been like the rain and the way the traffic was not regulated at all. But St. Louis, not for me. I think I'll stick to what I'm used to in Chicago. But I will say that like driving into the city, like you can see Chicago from a good while away with how big the skyscrapers are. Like the skyline you can see from like 20 minutes out of the city. Yeah. But St. Louis, we didn't see anything until we turned a little corner, and all of a sudden the arch was there, like right in front of us.
Oh, there it
is. I was like, oh, hey. So it was like, it's crazy how much smaller St. Louis is to Chicago. Yeah. But it was a nice city. It was clean from what I saw. There was a parking garage across from the one that we were in that was like old and dilapidated, and nobody was using it. So there's a lot of graffiti, and it was kind of scary looking. But other than that, pretty clean city, pretty cool. Just I wouldn't recommend walking to a concert in the pouring rain without a poncho or an umbrella.
Yeah.
But concert was good. Glad I went.
Cool.
Yeah. And
awesome.
Otherwise, this week just been playing Expedition 33, and I listened to a couple things that we'll talk about a little later on. But Jon Bellion, Father Figure, released. Listen to that, and also Little Simz's Lotus came out. I listened to that as well.
Yes.
But yeah, how was your week, Mike?
Week was fine. Don't really got too much to talk about on my end. But I guess just to start with work. I mean, I was kind of doing the exact same things again this week, building pallets and stuff like that. I was working alongside kind of the same guy all week though. And I think I mentioned it before. He's like an older guy. He has like a southern accent. Yeah, would not want to have any political conversation with him whatsoever. Yeah, he's really interesting guy in general. He is in like his 60s, he told me. But like you wouldn't really suspect it. He does look like he's like late 40s or something. But like, this week
Surprising for that kind of person.
right, yeah. This week I saw him like do like a full sprint at one point down to
No.
because the conveyor stopped on the other side and he knows how to fix it. So saw him do that. And like I don't know, like just general things that are like, man, that's interesting that he's 60 and he's still doing that. All right, it's whatever. But you know, Wednesday I was getting a little tired of like fed up with him a little bit, not like
Mm.
outwardly, but like he admits himself that he has OCD is what he says a lot. So like if something's not going the exact way that he wants it to, he can get a little crabby, a little you know, just like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like an annoyance that comes in his voice when something doesn't go his way.
Mhm.
And like I was making a couple mistakes because I was like tired and it was the middle of the week and whatever. And I made like a few like in a row and like he kind of like kept doing it for this thing that I've been doing for the last, you know, 2 weeks. And he was kind of the way he would treat it would be like I was doing it for the first time. You know what I mean? And like that kind of
Yeah.
shit is like not what I want to be hearing 6 hours into an 8 hour shift. So I was getting a little just like I don't want to be near you. Wasn't saying it, but I would. That's what I was feeling inside. I was like, ugh, I don't want to be near you right now. I just want the shift to fucking end.
Mhm.
But you know, yesterday it was a little bit more high spirits, I guess, for whatever reason. And also got to learn that he's a bit of a gamer, which is not what I was expecting.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he started talking to me. He was like, "Yeah, I was like on my couch. I was playing World of Tanks, and my internet went out." I was like, "Okay." Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, he like World of Tanks and World of Warships, I think it was. And then he said a few times World of Warcraft as well, which did not sound in line with anything else that he was talking about. So I don't know if he
Yeah.
actually meant World of Warcraft. Because he was talking like a bunch of military game. Because he also was like saying like early modern warfare stuff or whatever, and I'm like, what World of Warcraft? Interesting. Didn't question him on it. Didn't really care too much. But you know, whatever. It was fine. It's been a bit of a long week, but you know, hanging in there. Um, gonna get through today, and you know, get through today. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do. Um, but outside of there was one other thing. There's the we have like a head guy there who like leads our section or whatever, and like he like does like announcements at the very beginning and like leads the stretches and stuff, and seems like, you know, he seems like a genuinely really good guy, and like he's very concerned about like safety and the well-being of others and like things being done properly, very by
Mhm.
the book type guy. um and at, at some point yesterday he just comes up to the older guy I'm working with, because the older guy has been there for a while though. But that lead guy comes up, he just like, "What's up, bitch boy?" To the older guy. He was like, "What'd you say to me, fuck face?" I was like, "Oh my god." What's
Wow.
going on? I don't know, I just thought that was funny, the
Yeah.
the guy who
What's up,
follows
bitch boy?
rule. Yeah, the bitch
Yeah.
boy. I was like, did not expect that from you. Um, but yeah, it was kind of fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, nothing really too significant. But last weekend my brother came down, and we helped my grandma with some gardening, like weeding stuff, and some pressure
Mhm.
washing. It was
Oh
our
shit. Pressure
Christmas.
wash simulator in real life.
I know, right? I didn't even get to do it though. I was just doing scrubbing. Brian
Oh.
took care of that. But yeah, I mean, it was a late Christmas gift. I mean, not like, well, a little late, because we were supposed to help her with some stuff during the spring, and then both of us forgot about it. And then my grandma told my mom like, "Hey, aren't they supposed to be helping me?" We're like, "Oh shit, yes we are."
Oh.
That's right. She was a very last second Christmas gift, so both of us forgot about that. But yeah, we did some weeding and some pressure washing, and you know, that was that. Got to hang out with the grandma and the dog and stuff. Grandpa a little
Hell
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a helpful day. It was
Mhm.
on a Saturday though, after I was doing my shifts and stuff, so like my
Yeah.
legs were starting to like, I don't know. My family does a lot of the okay, goodbye. Oh, but also there's this. Okay, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, goodbye. Oh, but also that,
Mhm.
like we'll say goodbye
Irish
like
goodbye. Yeah.
five fucking times before it actually is something. And then at one point, like after probably the fourth goodbye, and things were came to like an end in a conversation. I was like, all right, I kind of need to get off my legs, so I need to
Yeah.
sit down
I
in
love you,
the car.
Grandma, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, I think we've talked enough. I think we're okay. Um, yeah, but it was good though. It was fine. And yeah. My mom and I actually, I think we did that the same night because my brother was there too. We watched Infinity War again for the Marvel thing.
Mhm.
Both of us figured we should probably do that since now we know the context of everything. Should probably
Right.
rewatch it. And still a great movie. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite. I think it's great. Um, yeah. And then yeah, I listened to a couple things too. The same things you did. Father Figure, Jon Bellion, and Lotus by Little Simz. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll talk about those a little bit more
Yeah.
at some
You didn't have to
point.
listen to Swans this week.
I did not. No, thank God. Um, no, the Miley Cyrus was the most reviewed thing this week. So,
That's good.
yes, no 7 song 2 hour albums for me this week. Yeah.
Sounds like
Um.
fun.
Oh, but there is a funny screenshot. I'm not sure if you saw, but like Fantano gave like the Miley Cyrus like yellow flannel, like an
Uh-huh.
8 out of 10, and then the next video was swans with like a normal shirt, him looking slightly disappointed in the thumbnail, and like the screenshot of the two of those next to each other just looks really funny.
Awesome.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that was really my week. Don't really got too much more to add on top of that.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing
It's
wrong
working.
with that. Uh, what do you want to do? You want to talk about music or some little news things first?
No, we can do news first and then hop
Okay.
into the albums.
Um,
Um,
oh, you go.
okay. I got texted by 21 Pilots the other day.
Oh shit. Tyler
That was
Joseph
pretty cool.
himself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing some cryptic stuff leading up to the single release next week. Um, and just like short videos of like creepy blurry face talking kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they sent like texts to people who were within their like system of like a YouTube video with another. There was no voice in it, but there was like a little bit of music
Mm.
behind ambient
Yeah.
video.
Reverb to hell.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but that was pretty cool. Just proves that I'm a bigger fan of 21 Pilots than Mike because he didn't get one.
Nah.
Um,
Bitch
um,
boy.
whoa, fuckface. There's a new Sabrina Carpenter song
Mm.
came out last night called Man Child. Um, directed at I think Barry Keoghan, the Irishman that she was dating,
Mm-hmm.
that allegedly cheated on her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, the song was the song's pretty okay though. I don't think it's like on the same level as some of her other hits. Good like 80s production. Beginning of it sounded a lot like Good Luck Babe to
Mm.
me. Um, just in the production side of things. She sounds good on it. The music video is pretty interesting. It's very chaotic and all over the place, but it is well done. Um, the song's okay. I don't think it's like a mega hit material, especially after like Espresso and stuff. But it's
Mm.
good. Did you check it out at all?
No, I haven't. I,
No.
I I saw that it came out, and I was reading some of the album of the year comments saying that it's like more the 80s stuff, and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like this. So I may check it out at some point, but I
Yeah,
don't I don't have high hopes for myself.
it's not bad. But it's just
Yeah.
um, Other than the albums releasing, I don't know if I have any other music stuff. Do you have other music stuff?
Yeah, I have one thing. Plaintive. Um, Plaintive has a single coming out next Friday.
What?
Yeah, song. Yeah, announced right here. I'll probably also announce it on Instagram, so it'll be announced 2 days beforehand, but announced to you, Colin, first. Um, yeah, get a new song from me coming out next Friday, called "Open Up." Doing a little single before the EP, which will be coming out June 27th.
June
So
27th.
June 27th.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so a few weeks from now, I was actually going to do the 20th, but then I put the podcast in mind because we would be doing an artist analysis that week, and I was
Yes.
like, Colin needs to study up before the EP comes out.
Yeah,
So
gotta do another interview.
exactly, yeah. Plaintiff will be coming by on the podcast again. Um, but yeah. I got Oh, I guess I should announce the name of the EP too, because I don't know if I've said that. But yes, on June 27th, the EP is called Cyclicism. Sick, yeah, it's kind of,
Sick, man.
yeah, sick, man, sick, man. Um, but yeah, that's something that's happening
Hell
finally.
yeah.
Yeah,
Finally. Very
finally.
excited.
Yes.
I've heard everything prior, and
Mhm.
y'all are in for a treat. Some good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Um, get
Um,
ready. Get
yeah,
those, catch up on your plaintive lore with coping mechanism.
absolutely, absolutely, root and tootley. Yeah, cool. And sorry if I don't sound like super excited. I'm just like still kind of tired.
Yeah.
We,
No, you're good.
we film these podcasts now as soon as I get up, at the end of a work week. So I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
a little brain fried. But yes, I am excited. I love these songs. They're coming out, and it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
So we'll probably talk more
And
about
that's
that stuff when it comes to the interview. And what were you saying?
in you should say that it's about fucking time when
Mm-hmm.
you promote that it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, little tagline.
Mm-hmm. It's about fucking time. Yeah.
And then it's just sad piano. It's like,
Yeah, pretty much. That's not profane at all. There's not an explicit song on this. um,
that's really funny.
yeah.
Um,
But
that's
yes.
very exciting.
Hmm.
Very
Oh,
excited for that.
and Open Up will be having a music video coming out with it too.
Oh shit!
Nothing too flashy to be excited for because it's all done by me and I'm not good at that shit. But it does have some visuals, so visuals.
Awesome.
Um, so that will, yeah. I don't remember what day I scheduled that for, but I think I'm going to be doing that the Saturday after. Is what I'm
Okay.
thinking. But yeah. Plaintive.
Cool. Very excited.
Plaintive, no piano. And yeah, that's all I got from music news. And some other news. I'm sure. Well, there's something we can talk about as well. But something lighter first. GeoGuessr community, Rise
Oh.
Up, new DLC just dropped of Earth.
Oh, shit.
Namibia is now in
Oh,
the
wow.
game, which is really cool. Not because they covered it pretty well. So like it's a pretty big country, and you get pretty much the full thing, and it's yeah. I mean, more Africa. There's not a lot of Africa in GeoGuessr for reasons. It's hard to send cars and cameras and stuff out there. So getting new Africa and it being an entire country is sick as hell, and love that shit. So, and it looks a lot like
cool.
Oman, which is interesting.
Oh man.
Oman, man. But yeah, that's all I got for news.
Well, in the Switch 2 released this week as well. And seeing all these people playing the new Mario Kart and getting real FOMO. I really want to get it. I really want it. There's nothing really else out for it right now other than games that were on the Switch 1 and also like Cyberpunk 2077 and
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently it all runs well because they really souped up their um like the processors and stuff, because on the dock it runs at like 4K 1080p
Mm.
60 FPS, so it's like it runs well.
Yeah.
um and if you tried to play that on a Switch 1, it would probably explode.
Right.
But I really want to play Mario Kart. But
Mm.
it looks cool.
People seem
People
to be enjoying the Mario Kart.
yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think IGN was like, the open world is very barren and boring. But IGN is IGN, so
IGN is barren and boring in my opinion.
yeah. But a lot of people, from what I've been seeing, is just like, oh, the open world's actually really fun. It's the soundtrack is great. You can drive around getting new costumes for characters and stuff, and it just and then the racing also looks like super different, and but it looks like Mario Kart, but there's a lot of like cool different things that they added. Yeah, but uh I want it. But and then last week there was a Netflix was doing like an event where they were showing off like stuff for the upcoming releases and things. And Stranger Things 5 finally got its first like trailer and release dates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Trailer looks pretty good. I'm wondering how it's going to live up to like how good I think season 4 was.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't actually
but
see the trailer release. I need to watch that.
Yeah. It's really short. It's
more teaser.
It's more teaser. But the release date might be the worst release date for a TV show I've ever seen in history. Let me see here. Stranger Things.
The anticipation.
5.
I'm expecting like 2028 or something right now.
Oh no, it comes out this year.
Oh, okay.
But I'm talking like dates. So they're doing the same thing like they did last season, where it's like different volumes, like it's split up. But the first one comes out November 26th, which is four episodes, and then the next 3 episodes for volume 2 comes out Christmas Day.
What the fuck?
And then the final episode comes out New Year's Eve.
That's just bad marketing.
Yeah, it is like I don't know what the fuck they think they were doing there.
Maybe it has plot relevance.
Maybe, but like they're not going to get the viewership they want those days. So because people are going out with family on Christmas, and then they're hanging out with their friends and party on New Year's Eve. November 26th, that's like the day or two after Thanksgiving.
Sorry guys, actually, I can't make it to Christmas. I have to I have to watch the 3 episodes of Stranger Things and review them on Letterboxd or some shit. IMDb.
No, I think the first batch of episodes releases the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's I mean I feel like that the first few episodes will get good enough viewership because people are off break and things,
right?
But otherwise,
3 consecutive holidays is
wild.
Is a choice though.
Yeah, no, I don't. I saw that and I was like, that is like the worst release schedule I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah.
But still excited. I'm wondering how they're going to wrap it up to really satisfy the masses here, if that's what they're going for.
Yeah. Will dies.
Probably not, because the Duffer Brothers are also Zionists.
Oh no.
But
Will's the only one who survives.
Will and Murray are the only ones that survive.
Yeah.
But good show nonetheless. Season 4 was great. And then in not so fun news, there was one of the voice actors on King of the Hill. He was an openly gay man, had a husband. Their house was burned down a couple years ago. I don't remember whether it was like a malicious act or whether it was an accident. But they came back one day to get the mail from their mailbox, and they got into an argument, or their neighbors started arguing with them, and the voice actor from King of the Hill Jonathan Joss, he was then murdered
Yeah.
by the neighbors, shot dead just there for being gay.
Yeah. I heard about
Which
that. I did not know like any of the context about like him being gay and that being a like hate crime.
hate crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually fucking awful.
Yeah.
I'm not a big King of the Hill person. I never really watched it, but he was on like Parks and Rec for a little while.
Mm.
I remember some of them on there, which is just super sad. It was also like a day into Pride Month, which like
Right.
what the fuck. Um, but people reacting to it online all week, and then Chris Pratt, his reaction, because he was on Parks and Rec, he basically just said "damn rip,"
Yeah.
which wild. But that's really sad. Thoughts and love to his husband
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Damn, that's like also right before the return of King of the Hill, actually. So
Right. Yeah.
really just awful
Yeah.
timing and no good time for that, obviously. But yeah, it was just really disheartening and sad. But rest in peace, Jonathan Joss. And
Yeah.
then there's also been a major messy breakup in the country.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, between our dear president Donald J. Trump and his ex-boyfriend now,
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk. They've been going at it on Twitter for the past few days, and it's been really hard and sad to watch because they're really going for the throat on each other.
Slight
Trump is
correction.
saying,
Slight correction. Trump is going on Truth Social, and
"Oh
Elon's
yes,
going
that is true.
on X. So the everything
Yes,
guy.
that is that is true. Thank you for the
Yeah, no problem.
correction.
I'm just community noting you right now.
Thank you. I'm gonna give you some downvotes for that actually, but yeah, Trump told Elon that he has Trump derangement syndrome, and
Mm-hmm.
and Elon said that Trump's on the Epstein files, and surprise of the century. And then also that Trump would have lost the election without him, also surprise of the century.
Yeah.
But just it's really sad, and it's hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But
And there's some domestic
it's
abuse going on too. Apparently, Trump gave Elon a black eye. I was seeing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it might just be a problem with Elon on his drugs, like his ketamine and everything. 'Cause he's and I think Trump is pretty straight edge, so he doesn't really fuck with that kind of stuff. I don't think, and it just got to him at the end of the day. But it's just it's sad to see, and Trump was like, Elon left because I ended his electronic vehicle mandate, which would have forced everyone to get an electronic vehicle, which definitely would not have happened. And 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 then also Trump was he was online saying that he's gonna stop giving Elon so many billions of dollars in contracts and stuff.
Wow.
And he was like, I'm surprised that Biden allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
So, Elon might not have much money going forward.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But it's just really messy, and
Yeah.
it's a major breakup in the zeitgeist of America.
Yeah, and I saw a comment calling it aliens versus predators, which I thought was like the best pun I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Too real, honestly.
Too real.
But yeah, that's happening. Excited to see where that goes. But yeah, so about all the news I got. If we want to hop into these albums,
hop into the albums. Want to do the Simz first because I feel like I have a little less to say about Simz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
You want to go first?
Sure. So I listened to this. I woke up way later than I wanted to today, and I listened to this right before the pod.
Yeah, I listened to it pretty late at night, so.
I only have one listen in, and the way the album started, the first three tracks, I was kind of like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wasn't really big on the sound. I was kind of like, how is she gonna follow up? Um, I know she had an album before this, but like, is she gonna follow up Introvert with something like this?
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of disappointed a little bit in the first three tracks, and then it started to pick up, and the rest of the album, honestly, it's pretty well done. I think that the production is like the highlight of the entire thing. Honestly, just really sounds good all throughout. The instrumentals are really good. Um, the track that really stood out to me the most and I liked the most was I think the title track.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or maybe not the title track. It was
It might have been the title
it,
track because that song is really fucking good.
yeah, the one before that and also the title, Blood and
Okay.
Lotus. I liked
Okay.
a lot. The one where she's talking to I think her brother.
Yeah.
Um, but those were really really good, and definitely the highlights for me. But I did like the last four tracks all throughout. The one Blue with Sampha was good as well
Yeah.
as a closer. Um, but I definitely need more listens on it. I think it's good. But yeah, those first three tracks just kind of threw me off a little bit. I will say that.
Yeah. I feel kind of similarly. Maybe a little more positive though.
Hmm.
I also was a little worried in the beginning. Although with like the title track "Thief," I think there's a lot of actually I think it really goes for a lot of the whole album. There's some context that I didn't know about until I was reading like the one thing that was annotated on Genius gave like so much fucking context to what was going on.
Mm.
The producer that she had been working with for a long time now on like all of her great albums, like Gray Area and sometimes might be Introvert and No Thank You. Her producer Inflow, who had done like all those orchestral beats and that type of stuff.
Mhm.
Basically, she gave him like a loan of like $2 million for something, and he
Oh,
just didn't pay it back. Um,
oh,
apparently, I mean, I don't know the entire details of it. I'm not sure if anyone does, but it seems like he could have done it, but he just hasn't, and now
mm,
she's suing him for that. And like that just kind of, and like they're like childhood friends or something like that too, so like there's a whole lot of like just like betrayal type stuff going on here and her like refinding her purpose and all that kind of stuff. But I think that gives
mm,
good context at least for the first song, which is her being pissed at that pretty much and putting it into a song.
yeah.
um but like yeah, for like the first like half of the album I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'm not sure if I love the sound as much as I have her other stuff, but I think the second half of the album really does like pick up a lot. I
Yeah.
think, was it, hold on, let me, what did I rate the tracks? Was it from Hollow? No, it was from Lion. From like Lion to
Mm,
the end, I think like all the tracks are like great and like have like a whole bunch of really good stuff going for them. So I definitely need another listen too before I have like full thoughts on everything. And I feel like I may change how I feel about some of the beginning. I should mention that "Free," the single "Free," I do love that song too. That's at the
mm,
first half. Um, but yeah, I think like the last batch of tracks just like really really strong run to the end there. I really loved Lotus. Lonely I thought was great too. And I really
mm.
like Blood, which was kind of like um oh shit, what the fuck's the name of that song? The Kendrick song where they're arguing. "We Cry Together." It was kind of like "We Cry Together,"
Yeah.
but like much more civil. um, and does not end with a sex scene. Um,
Aw.
yeah. But yeah, no, I thought there was really great performances throughout. And yeah, it's a, I don't know. It's one that I definitely need another listen to. But I think there's some really really strong stuff on there.
Mhm.
And yeah, cool. We'll probably talk about it more in the monthly roundup in like
Yeah.
4 episodes from now. So, um, but yes. Um, or I guess you have anything else to add on to that?
No, not really. Just I would recommend listening to it if you've liked her other stuff for sure. But
Yes, yeah, yeah. I would as well. Um, but yeah, and then we got the next album. We got "Father Figure" by Jon Bellion. First
Mhm.
solo Jon Bellion album in 7 years. um,
Woo!
woo! 2018 was 7 years ago. Woo!
Oh god.
Yeah. um, and Yeah, I mean, I guess what are your thoughts on it first? I know you started last
Uh,
time.
I think it's good. I think that some of it, where it feels like, like Wash, feels like a proper like continuation and like evolution of his prior music, his solo music. There's a lot on here that just, it feels to me like he's showing off, like, oh yeah, like I've produced these big songs. A lot of these tracks kind of feel like um not like solely his. It feels like they're produced for other people, like what he's been doing for the last eight
Mm,
fucking years.
hmm.
Um, I don't think that's a bad thing. I like a lot of the production. I think it all sounds good. Obviously, like he's this giant fucking producer, so like he's responsible for these major hits for these people. So obviously it's gonna sound good. But the songs that did like feel like just him and felt like evolutions, like Oblivious and Modern Times with John
Hmm.
Batiste, Italia Breeze. I wasn't huge on uh, when I first listened to the album, but after re-listening to it yesterday, it kind of grew on me. Um, and then the last three tracks I liked a good bit. But as like a whole, I think it's like a good stepping stone, or what maybe not a stepping stone, but like just like a stepping off point for whatever he does next, if he does anything next.
Mm.
But I liked it a lot. I feel like I need more time with it, like I do with Lotus, just like kind of digest it more. But there was a lot of stuff on here that I was a really big fan of. Nothing really uh was like sour to me. I wasn't, I didn't uh I'm still not like, Y is okay, Horoscope is fine. But like I really like John Batiste on Modern Times,
Mm.
and I think Get It Right has a feature on it, but it's not listed.
Yeah.
Um, but I like it. I think it's well done, well produced. I like a lot of this, the deeper kind of familial stuff where he's talking about his kids and uh and everything. Father Figure, the title track, I liked quite a bit as well. But
Mm.
um, yeah, I need more time with it. I think it's good, but I don't know if I love it as much as his past stuff. What
Yeah.
are you thinking?
Honestly, I thought it was okay. And I think it's like a real mixed bag on my end.
Mm,
Like there are some songs that I really enjoy on it. Like you were saying, like Father Figure, the title track, Washed. I mean, both of us have talked a lot about that song. It's great. Kid Again. I like Italia Breeze quite a bit. I like that. I like the chill vibes of that. And Rich and Broke is another one that I enjoyed quite a bit. Um, but I don't know. There's just kind of something about it that like it wasn't really clicking with me. I've been kind of listening because this released on like fucking Tuesday
Wednesday.
night or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to it pretty consistently since then. That's what I've been listening to on my drive and whatever. Just trying to kind of see if anything clicks with me. And like some things have grown on me, but some things have shrunk a bit. Like I don't really like Oblivious that much. I think it's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Modern Times, me personally. And Don't Shoot, I'm not huge on either, or Get It Right. I don't know. It's just like it's like kind of like half and half for me. Where I really like some of the stuff going on, but some of the other stuff I'm like, I don't know. It's all right. And I don't love the production all throughout either. I think there's like just little bits and pieces that are just like I don't know. They sound off to me in some weird way.
Mm,
Like one of the ways I put it in my album of the year review was like it feels like some of like the Jon Bellion magic isn't in a lot of these tracks to me.
mm,
Like it is in some of them, like those hooks and Kid Again and like the entirety of Wash pretty much. And like I said, I enjoyed like Father Figure, the title track a lot too. But I don't know. It just kind of feels like it doesn't have like that memorability or like those really sticky hooks that Jon Bellion is known for. Like some of the stuff gets caught in my head a little bit, but like it's not all that consistent for me. But I still enjoy it, but it's not like it definitely feels not as strong as a lot of his other projects, at least to
Mhm.
me. But I think it's all right. I do think though, like this is like a definite like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that decision. Putting the acoustic version of Wash on the track list.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, like I like John's acoustic stuff. And I honestly think the acoustic version of Wash is one of the least interesting acoustic versions that he's put out, and putting it on the record alongside, I mean, it's a little further into the track list, but you know what I mean, like on the same album as the actual song, it's just like this is, I don't know, I don't like that decision. I'm
Didn't need to be
probably,
there now.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not usually one to skip tracks, but like I literally will probably skip that every single time I listen to this album, just because like
Yeah.
it's there's no point.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel where you're coming from. Like I said, with a lot of it, it just kind of feels like he produced these songs for other people for me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that same kind of magic. Like his last record with Glory Sound Prep, it feels that's like Jon Bellion.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's like made for him, specifically for him, and that's his like magic in there. And he's a fantastic producer. He's, like I said, he's responsible for all these like huge hits for people.
Right.
Um, so it's like, he's obviously capable, but there was something about this record that just did not, um, other than like Wash and a couple of the tracks, didn't have that same magic, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Um, so I like him. I like the record. I think I like it a little more than you do, but
Mm.
it's you know I can agree with the fact that there's a little bit of that Jon Bellion magic that's not sprinkled enough throughout it.
Yeah. And I also want to say I do enjoy like the fatherhood themes and stuff, and like the
Yeah,
kind of the how he's glorifying being a present dad and like still being in
yeah,
his kids' lives despite being a millionaire. Like I think there's actually some really great themes all throughout with
mhm,
that. And I forgot to mention it, but the last track as well. I really like how heartfelt and like raw that
yeah,
performance is there, and just like um I really enjoyed those themes. I don't find them like, I don't know, rapper gone dad gets corny or something like that.
right.
It has nothing to do with those things.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's yeah. I don't think he's going on tour. I think he's just doing one big show.
Right.
Which kind of sad. I would love to see Jon Bellion on a tour, but
Hmm.
obviously that would go against his whole being present thing on the record.
Right.
So so I get it. But it could grow on me, it could shrink on me as time goes on, but definitely not like up there with my favorite Jon Bellion stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
Alrighty. Well, I got nothing else.
Yeah, me
All right.
either.
Well, sounds like it's about that time. Right at the 1 hour mark too. So we're gonna do our song of the week. And
Yes.
for me, I am up first this week. And trying to think of what I want to do. Um, I think. Are you okay with me choosing a slightly longer one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to well, like I was saying before, I really, really like the title track on the new Little Sims album, and I was wondering if I wanted to choose it because in case you hadn't listened to the album, I didn't want to like, I guess, spoil what I think is one of the best moments. But
Mhm.
since you've heard it, fuck it. So I'm gonna go with Lotus by Little Sims.
But I won't tolerate a lie or be disrespected. You're right, I'm not the damn puppet. You're pulling.
All right, that was Lotus by Little Sims. What'd you think of that, Colin?
Banger track, man. Just full of emotion. The production's fucking awesome. Um, yeah, it's a long one, but
Mm,
it's a good one.
yeah.
Um, damn. And whenever I listen to Little Sims, you were reminded very fast just how British she is, because you got a Lou in you, and it's like it's great. I love her, but damn, she's British. Great track though. I love that. Love that
Yeah.
song.
when I'm guessing they've probably been fixed by now, but I was reading along with some of the Genius lyrics that were up like an hour after the album came out, and
Uh,
like someone someone very intentionally on one of the songs like just put like the most British spellings of things. Like, like it's hard, like, like if she was saying the word like you or something, they would put YER, like year or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot of stuff like
You're
that. And I was like, it was like for the whole song, I was like, this feels like wrong for some reason. um,
racist
um,
towards British people.
yeah, yeah. But yes, very British, but very good. I think
Mhm.
British people make great music.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe not great
It's the only thing they're
breakfast,
good
but
for, right?
exactly. But yeah, no, I really love like how angry and like energetic that whole like rap verse is towards the beginning. I'm I could be wrong, but like I don't remember like hearing her like just straight up like pissed off like that like on like any other song. And like it's such a passionate performance, and I really love the stuff that she's saying about being an artist and the expectations from fans and stuff like that, and just like I'm doing this shit for me. Like I need to I need to work on myself and all that kind of stuff before all that kind of stuff. I think it's a lot of great stuff going on in there. And then the production on this song is just like absolutely fantastic. Probably one of my favorite produced tracks on the record. I remember the song after this had some strings that were really really beautiful as well. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, I really love the ending section too, the instrumental. I think it works really well. And I'm a fucking nerd, and I've chosen a song that goes into 7/4 2 weeks in a row. So
Wow,
yeah, fun fact. um, but
super fun.
super fun, awesome. Everyone wanted to know that. But yeah, yeah, I really love that song. So, what are you feeling
Sweet.
for this week?
Well, if you're gonna go with a title track, I'm gonna go with a title track. I'm gonna go with "Father Figure" by Jon Bellion.
All right.
Lord, Lord, Lord. Father figure, known to protect, I do that shit however.
All right, that was "Father Figure" by Jon Bellion. What'd you think, Mike?
I think that's a great song. It's one that has grown on me a little bit. I did like it on first listen, but I think some of the hooks and stuff really, that one in particular, like the hooks have grown on me, and like I think it's pretty catchy, and I like the vibes of it. And I like how it's a little weirder for John, but like it all kind of comes together in a cool little package. I think it's great.
Yeah, I like the message of it a lot. They
Yes.
just wanted, you gave up being a present father for your big Ferrari, which I originally thought he was saying pink Ferrari before I
Mm.
saw the lyrics. So, um, either way, I loved the way he delivered the. You look so sick inside your big Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like it's I like that part the most, I think. But I like the message. It sounds cool. I like the
Yeah.
um
Yeah. Yeah.
those were cool as well. Um yeah, a good song. Great title track. Like it a lot.
Absolutely. Same here. Cool. Alrighty. Well, unless you got anything else to add, we can get into the outro, which goes a little something like this. If you're listening on streaming services, thank you very much. We love you to death. Um,
Mwah mwah mwah.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mwah.
And you can come on over to YouTube, where we're under the same name, BrokeN Boys, capital N BOIS. And you can see our beautiful, unchanging profile pictures of Lemo from Black Country Road and the Breach Boys over there. I surprised I haven't thought of that one before. The Breach Boys. But yeah, you can come see those. But more importantly, there's a whole bunch of links in the description for stuff to come check out. First off, that song of the week segment that we just did. We've been doing that since the inception of this show. So you can and well, not only have we done that, but we've kept track of them in playlist form, and you can see those playlists down there. We got 3 down there. We got one for me, we got one for Colin, and we got one for both of us combined. And in those playlists, you can find Father Figure by Jon Bellion, the song, or Lotus by Little Simz, the song. Yeah, you can find a bunch of other Jon Bellion and Little Simz tracks in those playlists as well. So go check those out. We've got some personal stuff too. For me, like I said, music, music is on the way. Open up next week. Along with 21 Pilots, but open up next week.
I'm opening it up.
Oh, okay.
I'm opening up.
He's getting ready. Yes, but you can go check out the Plaintive Lore and be prepared for that drop down below. I got my Spotify and Apple Music down there, and maybe a couple other things I don't remember. But they will be there, as well as on my YouTube page, which is also linked there. Cyclicism coming out in a few weeks. Catch up on your Plaintive Lore with Coping Mechanism. Yes. I also have my Album of the Year page down there, where you can get some more in-depth thoughts on the Jon Bellion project, and maybe by the time this is up, the Little Simz one too. My Instagram, my TikTok, and that's about it, I think. I don't know. That's all I feel like mentioning right now. In terms of my relation to you, dear viewer, oh man. Well, you see, if you look at the cover to Father Figure, this is gonna be a weird one. The cover to Father Figure, both the man and the woman are looking at something, and that's me. I'm the man looking at the picture. It's taken from the point of view of the viewer, but they're turned the other way, and I'm looking at the back of their head, just sitting there in that chair, looking at the back of their head, behind them. That's what I got this week. I'm sorry. And Colin over here, he runs our socials. He runs our Twitter page and our he runs our Twitter page, where he updates when videos are posted, as well as updates when things need to be updated. And he also runs our TikTok page and our Instagram page, where he posts little funny clips of us being funny. You should go check out both of those and give them some love. Woo! Yeah, woo, love. And he also has some personal stuff too. He's got his Album of the Year page, where he rates and reviews music, and he also has his Letterboxd, where he rates and reviews the movies. I know you rewatched something this week, but anything new up there for that? I don't know.
Yeah, I left a review for it. Originally, I just rated it, so there's a little review up there.
There you go. Go check it out. What is your relation to our dear viewer, Colin?
Well, in the album cover, it looks like it is Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. So, you're the parent watching the back of your child's head. The child being Jon Bellion, I guess, and I'm gonna be coming down the chimney because I'm Santa Claus, wow. And the chimney's right in front of the viewer, and little Christmas in June action, and I'm coming down the chimney, and I'm saying ho ho ho, you better be a good father figure when you grow up, Jon Bellion. But for now, you're on the nice list. Just make sure you stay on there by being a good father when you grow up. And I'm gonna look at you, and I'm gonna go, continue doing your job, sir. And little Jon Bellion's gonna say, all I wanted for Christmas was a love cage. And so we're
hold on a second. Maybe he's 18.
18-year-old Jon Bellion sitting in front of the fireplace, and his voice was that high still, but we're he's, oh, cage, and we're gonna I was gonna make it family friendly. It's
Okay.
okay. But
Okay. All right.
it's all right.
It's all right.
It's so he's gonna you're gonna get up from your chair, your very uncomfortable looking chair, it looks like, and we're gonna have to abide by these Christmas wishes.
Of
So
course, under the mistletoe.
you're gonna get up, and we're gonna get down so little Jon Bellion can really we can actually hug him. It's not just at our knees. So we're gonna get down there, we're gonna hug him, and the woman in the photo I assume is John's wife or mom, and and your wife, and she's gonna little mistletoe. I'm gonna go, how can I say ho ho no, and I'm gonna kiss you right on the mouth, and John's mom is gonna avert his eyes, cover him up for him, because shouldn't see two men kissing.
Of course not. Not in that Christian household.
Yeah, in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
And though it is Pride Month now, it's December then, so it's it's fine. But you should be prideful all the time. But this was a love cage, and if you would like your very own love cage, all you must do, dear viewer, is drop your address in the comments below. You won't know when, you won't know where, but we will find you and give you your very own love cage. So drop that Addy.
Yeah.
A little time travel one for you today.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, cool. We'll talk at you next week about new 21 Pilots and
new plaintiff
as well.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. And yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll also spin a wheel. So
Yep.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.